Okay, so this is a story as to how I got here.
Let me elaborate a little bit. I wanted to make a vlog about my Venice Marathon experience, and that's me. Spoiler alert, I made it. But I just wanted to talk about different things which I experienced and how it went. So yeah, we start with the course. It's 42 kilometers, and Venice Marathon that day had about 10,000 people running it. I started in the bottom group, but it starts by this beautiful palace, and we have some fun Italian DJs at the start line cheering everyone as they go over. But as you can see, starting in the back, I decided I needed to pick up the pace and try and catch up with some people. So from the off, I started my running pace and started overtaking people, which was good.
Let's see what happens. First 5k just done. Not gonna lie, well, never lie. I'm absolutely shattered. It's tough. See you next 5k.
So I found the first 5k harder than normal because I'd been training for 10k and I sort of knew how hard it was going to feel, but because of the fact that Venice Marathon is so scenic and beautiful, you get distracted and you start thinking about stuff like that, whereas when you're running you usually have some headphones on and you're really focused, whereas that's impossible to do when you're in such a beautiful place and with all the locals shouting at you.
So just finished 10k, and yeah, it's a bit tougher than I thought. The last few kilometers come pretty slowly, but good news is I feel like I've got power in the tank to get to 15, and that's the 4-hour marathon pacemakers, so I'm going to keep up with them, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Bye.
Also, when you're overtaking people, it takes up a bit of energy because you have to sort of run a little bit faster. I love that guy.
Steve! Andiamo ragazzi.
He gave me so much energy.
Andiamo. Half a marathon to go. Gosh, that is prospect. A lot of pain. Just past the 4:45 hour time pace keeper, and now I'm going to be running probably with 5-hour people when they get to me. My legs just suddenly at the 17k became really heavy, and I started running at the pace of walking, which is almost unproductive. So yeah, I need to I'm trying to take a break and then break into a faster running pace, because I think that running slowly is almost as productive as walking, so you might as well take a break and walk a little bit. But yeah, I might get on in a second. Anyway, we're in the middle of this industrial complex.
So at the 16th, 17th kilometer, I actually managed to pull one of my muscles because I decided to stop and stretch, which was the worst thing ever. My piece of advice is don't stretch mid-race, because what I did is I did your standard hopping stretch, and I pulled my foot up to my bum, and I felt my quad just slip on my right leg, and then I hobbled about 3 places with extreme pain on one leg. But I was just so obsessed with finishing this marathon, I was like, I need to think of a way of stopping this. So what I decided to do was pull the other leg as well, so I had equal pain. And actually it worked, because eventually the pains change over and they go away. And but the only issue was that I just couldn't use the muscle, so I had to sort of adapt my running style, so I felt like I was a bit more like I was falling forwards and pushing my torso forwards, so that my legs were just sort of waddling along when running, or most of the time when walking, just like swaying, which wasn't great because I had this rucksack which was like pulling down on my shoulders, so I didn't really want to be moving them around that much. But it got me to halfway, and I wasn't, at the time I wasn't sure what was happening, but I sort of get a little bit of a better understanding as to what happened later on.
So, update, 27k.
Good progress marker.
Yeah, my legs cannot run. My quads are just they're just sort of swollen, I guess, and my feet are on fire, but it's okay because I can ignore that. But yeah, I just can't find the momentum to pull my leg in sort of that direction. Bit odd, but I'm gonna walk for a bit, wait until the next pacer comes by, and then try giving it a run. I think we're at a pacer for 5 hours.
I was really not sure I was going to make it at this point.
But maybe 30.
I actually started vlogging less because I just didn't want to record this failure.
The river's getting a bit thicker, which may mean that we're getting closer, but still no sign of anything I remember. So we're a long way away. In fact, 10k away, obviously.
I love his face in the background.
So yeah, see you at the next update. 10k left. It's nice to have done 30, but the last 10k I pretty much walked. My legs are unfunctional, but we're gonna see what happens, because I just don't know currently. I couldn't tell you. My legs just stopped working. They did actually at one point. One of my legs just went cramp. I had to stop and massage it for 5. But I'm still ahead of final pace, and a lot of people walking as well, so hopefully it's okay.
So as you can see in that last one, it started to get kind of windy, and then we came out onto this bridge, which was the Venice Bridge, and hell broke loose. I didn't capture all on the camera.
I can see Venice. I'm not sure if you guys can. Sorry about the water on the lens, but it's got horrible, terrible wind.
But the wind was so strong, it was ridiculous. And also, it started hailing at one point, and it was spitting rain, which was coming almost vertically into your eyes. It was just so painful. But I could see Venice, so I was in a good mood, because that's the first time for the whole of the race that I could actually see the city. It was just off to the right, but you can't really see it very well in the shot.
We're only 8k away. I don't know if I'm gonna get eliminated though still, but I'm making power moves. Let's see if they can make it.
Everyone was walking this bit. It was just horrible. The wind was like soup. I mean, it was terrible, but we made it through. And then I caught up with my dad.
Finally, see the finish line. I cannot believe it. It's over there, the church.
It wasn't actually St. Marco's. St. Marco's on the left in that image.
It's flooded.
And this was the amazing part of the race, which is that I went to the Venice Marathon when they had Acqua Alta, which is a very rare event in Italy. But the level of the water had risen above the level of the land, and that meant that it floods. It's quite a regular thing, so they sort of know how to deal with it. But when I left Venice in the morning, nothing, not even a hint that it was going to be flooding in the evening. And then later, it was like this, and actually this really changed my mood, because before that I was just kind of tired, I wanted it to be over, and then when you hit the water, it just was like refreshing.
God, it's so cold.
Got a splash in the face, literally.
But refreshing at the same time. It's so nice. I can't believe it. It's flooded in Venice.
You can also see the 6-hour pace behind me with black balloons. I had to keep in front of him, so I started running after that. But I tried to get some nice cinematic shots of the water, and it was just sort of spilling over the edge, because the water level was just too high for the city, and it was so nice and refreshing. And these were the last 2 kilometers, which we did in the flood water, and I was a bit worried it was going to affect my trainers, but fortunately it didn't. I was worried about getting some like extra blisters which would just stop me or something, but fortunately we got away with that. And then the first view of San Marco was round here. As you're coming through, you see it there on the left, and it's just such a relief. And they had this sort of big bridge which was just along the way amazing. You could really feel like you were walking straight there. Walking, running.
We're so close.
I really was picking up. I was not running beforehand, but then I just felt all the energy, all the excitement, everything was going on, and it just feels beautiful.
This hour,
so here's the bottom of the bridge.
last kilometre is flying, simply because there's so much stuff going on. It's a very eventful marathon course. I'm very glad I've done it.
Not done it yet.
Yeah.
So actually it was a little bit further than I was expecting. But then I was also expecting a little bit in the San Marco Square, so it sort of balanced itself out in the end. Just saying, oh, this is too hard.
Harder than 38k.
And then saying, no, it's not harder than 38k. Which is like, at this point, the victory starts to set in, and how surreal this all is just starts to, you start to understand it, which is just amazing. And they've made all these artificial bridges for you to run along. And they had tourists on the side clapping and cheering, which was quite fun. And then there was also like sometimes splashing floodwater. And then finally I did it, and I could not have been more happy.
I'm so pleased with myself. I can't believe it. I thought it would be physically impossible. At the 20th kilometer, when I messed up my legs, I was devastated. I walked for a bit. I thought I'd recover. I didn't recover. I listened to some advice I got about perseverance, and I persevered. I stuck through it even though I was walking, and I just finished just before the 6 hours with the moderator. I hope my time's been registered. If not, it's roughly 6 hours. I'm so pleased with myself. I can't believe it.
And you can see the water just spilling over on the other edge. There were some deeper parts, but I didn't get the best footage. But I would say it went up to ankle, maybe even mid-ankle at the most. But it was definitely an experience, amazing experience, and I hope you enjoyed the video.
Stuck through it even though I was walking, and I just finished just
that's it.
before 6 hours with the moderator. I hope my time's been registered.
On Nike it said I had 5 hours and 45 minutes.